What is power?
It's not what you think it is. I like to look at it not through the lens of great power politics, but at it as an average, everyday human being. The feeling that you have with your children, with your spouse, with your colleagues, the sense that you have no control, that you can't influence them with your ideas, that you can't get them soften some of their ugly behavior, is the most miserable feeling a human being can have. The feeling of powerlessness is actually more corrupting than the feeling of having a lot of power. It turns people into being passive aggressive, into playing all kinds of weird games, negative games to get power. You want to feel that you have a degree of control over events in your life. And that to me is what power is. You don't have to use the loss of power. I don't advocate crushing your enemy totally. I hope I don't have any enemies ever that I need to crush ever. You just need to know these things so that when you enter the work world, you're not naive, you're not stupid, you don't make the same kind of mistakes that I made. The most fundamental thing about human nature, people have egos. Even your boss has an ego. You think he or she doesn't because they're powerful. They're even more insecure than other people. You need to be aware of these things so that you don't inadvertently make them feel insecure and suffer the consequences.
Why did you write a book about the topic of seduction?
Seduction is a high form of power because you make people feel pleasure. You make them feel excited or interested in you. Their resistance to your ideas slowly lowers, and you have the ability to influence them and to move them in the direction that you want. If you yell at them, like how we were talking about your child, they resent it, and for good reason. But if you're subtler, if you're more seductive in your approach, if you're more indirect, people will do what you want or go in your direction without ever even realizing it. So it was a sub-theme in the 48 Laws of Power.
What are the qualities of a great seducer?
What makes for a great seducer is very simple. You are outer directed. So when you meet somebody for the first time or you're on a date or whatever it is, you're not having that internal monologue going, does she like me or does he like me? Am I dressed well? Am I saying stupid things? What can I do to impress them? No. You turn it off and you're outer directed. You're hearing them say things that give you idea of what they're missing in life, of what they want, of what their needs are. You're absorbing it. You're entering into their spirit. You can give them gifts. You can take them to places that show that you're attentive to them. If you look at how we are in our day-to-day life, normally people never pay us attention. They're always so self-absorbed. They're never thinking about us. If you give that feeling to someone, it's incredibly powerful because we all want to be validated. We all want to be recognized. So the seducer is not someone who's all worried about him or herself and thinking. They're involved in the other person. They're absorbed like a sponge inside their psychology, inside their world.
What are the attributes of someone then that is not good at seducing?
One quality that's very anti-seductive is preaching and moralizing. Is like telling people, oh, that's wrong what you just said, or your politics are ugly, or you're not really good at this, or something or other. Having a moral superiority, a sense of sanctimony, is deeply, deeply anti-seductive. You want to be open. You want to give as much as you can to the other person of yourself, of your time, of your money, of your energy, etc. So being all kind of crimped and I don't want to give, I don't want to spend money, I want to take you to the cheap place to eat, I don't want to give you much time, is very, very anti-seductive.
Is insecurity a seductive quality or is it a anti-seductive quality?
It is anti-seductive. Now, there is a part of weakness that is seductive. So I would say vulnerability is seductive, but insecurity is anti-seductive.
Why does vulnerability draw people to you?
Most of the time, we are closed to the influence of other people. Particularly now, we have these walls up because life is harsh. People are coming at us with their advertisements, with their pleas, with their wanting money, with this, that, and the other. And we've all learned to be very defensive, right? And seduction is an openness, is the opposite of that. And the sense of letting go of your ego, letting go of your defensiveness, and letting another person enter your world is being seduced. The typical scenario is of a man who's not vulnerable at all. He's so powerful and in control and everything, has no vulnerabilities. It's frightening, for a woman. He's so strong, he's so invulnerable that there's something wrong about it. Maybe he's a serial killer. Maybe he's got skeletons in his closet. Something isn't right about that. What seduces you about a puppy, about a child, about an animal, is their vulnerability. It makes you want to hug them. It makes you want to help them, right? Vulnerability, the sense that somebody needs protection or help, that I think allow for seduction. I can be influenced by that other person. I am open to their spirit. The word vulnerable, I hate to sound like a professor here, so excuse me, in seduction, comes from the root of it means a wound, vulnus. So you have a wound inside of you and you need healing. And the other person naturally wants to help you, right? But being insecure is means I'm so self-absorbed, I'm so worried about myself that I can't get out of it. When you meet somebody, you can smell their insecurity in them. It makes you feel insecure. Whereas if you meet someone who's not like that, who's confident, etc., it brings out that quality in you. So that would be the difference between the two.
Being a narcissist, is that objectively a good or a bad thing?
It's neither. When your parents have to kind of not give you as much attention as you used to have, and you're 3 years old or 4 years old, you don't remember it, but it was very painful. Like, oh, they don't love me as much. What's wrong with me, right? I have to get that love and attention, not just naturally. I have to do things to earn it. I have to be my own mother or father. I have to find a way of loving myself. When something bad happens, I have to retreat inward and go, I'm really not so bad at all. I'm actually a decent person. You're developing the shreds of self-esteem. And people who never develop that because they were abused or they were abandoned, and people attack you and yell at you or criticize you, you can't retreat inward to that self-esteem, that love you have. The only thing you know is to get angry, they call it narcissistic rage. And then the other problems evolve where the only way I can get people to love me is by being incredibly dramatic and always making myself the center of attention. That's what creates a deep narcissist. Children, we all need that degree of self-esteem, that anchor in our life. So narcissism, self-love, is not a bad thing. You need to take that self-love and turn it outward as much as you can, and love and consideration for other people. You can't run away from your shadow, your dark side. You can use your dark side for positive purposes. Let's say you have a lot of anger inside, and I had a lot of anger when I was younger. Channel that energy into something productive and helpful, because the dark side of human nature has a lot of creativity, has a lot of energy. All the people that shat on you in your life, they inspire you. They create your best work. Don't run away from your shadow. Don't run away from your narcissism. Use it in a healthy way.